It's been another busy week in the world of entertainment, and we're here to give you the scoop on the info you need to know. Ahead, we've got a guilty pleasure from Michael Mathis, a rant from Ben Cramer, Meilink-Smith with an all-new Music Minute, and much, much more.
That's right, because from the campus of Ball State University, The Real Deal starts now.
Hello and welcome to The Real Deal, Ball State's one and only entertainment news show. I'm Kaylee Russell.
And I'm Connor Fack. Unfortunately, we've got more than just winter weather making us glum this week, since news and showbiz took a decidedly melancholy turn. To explain just what's up that's getting us down, here's Kelly Figley with this week's Hollywood headlines. Kelly?
Hollywood is mourning the loss of Philip Seymour Hoffman. The Academy Award-winning actor was found dead of an apparent drug overdose in his New York City apartment Sunday morning. It was known that he had struggled with drug addiction before and had checked into a rehabilitation program for about 10 days last year. Hoffman had won an Oscar for Best Actor in a Leading Role in 2006 for his portrayal of Truman Capote in the film Capote. He will be remembered as a terrific and versatile actor who always took on various types of roles in film as well as on the stage. His family released a statement asking the public to respect their privacy and to keep Phil in their thoughts and prayers. He was 46. In other news, Jay Leno is preparing for his final week as host of The Tonight Show, and it appears he will be going out strong. Last Friday, he averaged a 3.9 rating, the highest the show has gotten since their show following the 2012 London Olympics opening ceremony. Leno has been the host of The Tonight Show for over 2 decades. His final show will be on February 6th, with Jimmy Fallon taking over on the 17th, and Saturday Night Live Weekend Update's Seth Meyers moving into the late night slot a week later. And lastly, J.K. Rowling caused a stir on Saturday when in an interview for Wonderland magazine conducted by Emma Watson, she admitted she questions whether putting Ron and Hermione together at the end of the Harry Potter series was the right choice. She said that Ron and Hermione would have needed relationship counseling and hints at the idea of Harry and Hermione living happily ever after instead. Hundreds of fans, including other famous authors, have taken to social media to share their thoughts on this, both positive and negative. During the interview, Watson agreed with Rowling, saying, "I think there are fans out there who know that too, and who wonder whether Ron would really have been able to make her happy."
Thanks, Kelly. What a lot of sad news, although admittedly some were sadder than others.
Well, sadness and its causes are just a part of living, I suppose. But, of course, one of the ways that many people cope with hard times is through music. And if you think of a sad song, there's a good chance it's a country song.
But you may not have thought of one by the subject of this week's Under the Radar. Although his songs are by no means all sad, with a look at this talented artist, here's Chauncey Baker.
What comes to your mind when you think of country music? Four-wheel drive pickup trucks? Low-cut jeans on women? Lots and lots of consumption of beer and/or alcoholic beverages? While this may be true of what you hear on the radio, there's a whole other layer to country music that you've probably never heard of. It's so-called alternative country. The artist I'd like to tell all you lovely viewers about is Jason Isbell. Isbell, an Alabama native, got a start in an excellent southern rock band called the Drive-By Truckers. While the Truckers have a consistently harder-edged sound to them, Isbell's contributions to the band were usually more traditional country affairs. Some of my favorite songs he penned during his Truckers years include Decoration Day, Outfit, and Never Gonna Change. He left the band in 2007, and he's been releasing solo albums with his backing band, the 400 Unit, which was named after a psych ward in Alabama. Last year, he released his latest album, Southeastern, to critical acclaim. The opening song, Cover Me Up, speaks of a sober life, which Southeastern is the first album he's made since swearing off alcohol. Another song that I loved off this album is Live Oak, which is a kind of a spaghetti western-y sounding song about an outlaw finding love. There are also many moments of just sheer reality in these songs. Different Days, about a former lover who has fallen on hard times, sounds like a song about someone you or I might actually know. The best song on the album, however, is Elephant, which is about a woman dying of cancer. It's sad, brutal, funny, and real. Chances are you aren't going to hear lyrics like this on a Jason Aldean album. Sadly, Southeastern wasn't even nominated for a Grammy. It beats the living daylights out of every single other album nominated in the country and folk genres. While I was quite upset, Isbell was quite humble about it all. On his Twitter feed, he said the fact that so many people enjoyed his album gave him more satisfaction than winning any award. Indeed, Jason, to reference a song from your former band, Carl Perkins' Cadillac, you're much better than any gold-plated paperweight. I'm Chauncey Baker, and this has been Under the Radar. Oh, and no offense to Jason Aldean, it's just that your stuff isn't groundbreaking by any stretch of the imagination.
That's okay, Chauncey. If your comment makes Aldean sad, he can just write a song about it, right?
You really don't know much about country music, do you?
No. No, I do not. But I do know that we've still got a lot of great segments coming your way. You won't want to miss Michael Mathis diving into the most embarrassing part of his music library, a look ahead to this year's Oscars with Isaac Watley, and more, all after this.
You are never out of the fight.
You can actually pull this off.
Ah! Look what I found! Isn't this great?
Let's go! Hey, Shirley!
What'd you have for breakfast?
The nut job.
Really good.
I love that.
I love that.
Yeah, man.
So run and tell her that.
All right, I'm doing it.
I'm doing it. Man, you're doing it. Dude.
Which one of you?
Come on, buddy, faster! No! Hang in there, guys!
This is crazy. You got 5 seconds to throw it back. This ain't no damn video game.
It's probably still drivable though because it happened in the back. You can't drive it now.
Welcome back. We're happy you stuck with us.
Now, as a guy who really enjoys CDs like Hits of 1930, Best Oktoberfest Polkas, and everybody's favorite symphonies, I'm no stranger to having to hide my music from friends.
But even with pop music, there are some songs out there that are really catchy, but we'd still feel awkward caught singing them in front of our friends.
So, up next we have Michael Mathis share his own top 5 guilty pleasure songs. Michael?
We all have those secret jams that we like to blare in our cars when we're alone. We roll down the windows and just belt out every note possible in the song. Almost imagine we wrote the songs ourselves. The worst part about being in this situation, we hate to admit it, we like it. So I've developed a list of songs that we love to hear, but hate for people to know. Number 5, Locked Out of Heaven by Bruno Mars. I have to give it up to this guy. He's done some amazing things this year. Bruno has done it all, from winning a Grammy to performing at the Super Bowl. He's also created this catchy song, even though it is overplayed. Everyone will agree that this is one notable tune. Number 4, Irreplaceable by Beyonce. Alright, let's be honest. Can Beyonce do any wrong? Not only is she a goddess, but she also made a song that will be stuck in your head non-stop. I actually find myself singing to the left, when I'm passing people on the left side in the hallways. This song will never get old in my book, and neither will Beyonce. Number 3, Since You've Been Gone by Kelly Clarkson. I'm not afraid to admit it. I belt out this song. Right when the chorus hits, I go full white girl breakup status. Kelly made a great hit when she made this song. I don't think she imagined grown men belting out this song, but you best believe it, I do it. Number 2, Boyfriend by Justin Bieber. Even though this kid has caused a ton of drama over the past few weeks, and is pretty much the most hated teen star at the moment, I still love this song. I actually feel pretty cool when they rap along with the verses, and then I remember who the artist is. Justin or not, I find this song to be addicting. Although I can't stand Justin, I will always sing along to this jam. And number 1, Say My Name by Destiny's Child. This right here will always be my jam. I can't tell you enough about how addictive the chorus is. I have to sing along every time the song comes on. Let's also not forget that Beyonce was in this group, so that pretty much makes it perfection. Say My Name will always be stuck in my head when I hear it. I wouldn't have it any other way. Well, that's all for this segment. I'll catch you later. Kaylee and Connor, back to you.
Thanks, Michael. I say if you love those songs, sing them loud and proud.
You know, I've never heard you sing, Kaylee. Hey, now's your chance.
Yeah, maybe later. Way later.
Oh. Well, speaking of things that aren't happening for a while, the Oscars are starting to glimmer in the distance.
True. So in this month leading up to the big night, we at The Real Deal are going to give you the rundown on all of the most important nominees. This week we have Isaac Watley here to tell us all about the Best Supporting Actor and Best Supporting Actress nominees. Who are they, Isaac?
It's that time of year again as movie fans from all over the nation wait to see which of their favorite stars will be honored at the Oscars. The Academy has a great lineup of nominees this year, including names that almost any film lover can recognize, along with some talent that is new to the screen. Two of the most exciting categories of the ceremony are Best Actor and Actress in a Supporting Role, where we get to see two of Hollywood's best go home with a statue. The 5 nominees for this year's Best Actor in a Supporting Role cover a range of different films. For his role in the 2013 hit Captain Phillips, Bakar Abdi was nominated. Abdi, a Somali-American actor, surprised the entertainment world with his performance, as this was his first time to appear on screen. He presents a true success story as he went from being a limo driver in Minnesota to helping bring an amazing story and film to life. With nominations for several different awards from across the country, it's no surprise that the Academy selected him to be part of the ceremony. Jonah Hill was nominated for his role in Wolf of Wall Street. Hill, taking a step away from his comedy films, proves that his acting abilities can cover a variety of styles as he portrayed Donny Azoff in the film. Hill showed his dedication to the project by only accepting $60,000 for his work. We'll have to wait and see if his willingness to be part of the film pays off. Bradley Cooper was nominated for the hit film American Hustle. Already being nominated in the past for various awards with his films, including Silver Linings Playbook and The Hangover, Cooper continues to bring his talent to the screen with yet another style of acting. After beginning his career in 1999, it doesn't look like he'll be out of the business anytime soon. Starring in the film Dallas Buyers Club, Jared Leto has been given a nomination. Taking on the challenging role of a transgender with HIV, Leto was able to prove his ability to act as he not only added a vital piece to the film, but was selected by the Academy to be part of the ceremony. To wrap up the nomination list for Best Supporting Actor, Michael Fassbender was nominated for his work in the inspiring story 12 Years a Slave. Fassbender, playing part of Edwin Phipps in the film, brings a passion to the screen that helps bring this touching film to life. We'll have to be patient and see which one of these actors takes home the award, but with talent like theirs, I'm sure that whoever wins will be deserving of the honor. Now that we have an idea for who could win Best Supporting Actor, let's take a look at who's lined up for Best Actress in a Supporting Role. To start out the list, Sally Hawkins has been nominated for her performance in Blue Jasmine. Hawkins began her career on the screen with the 2002 film All or Nothing, and went on to star in other projects including The Painted Veil in 2006, and more recently Great Expectations in 2012. Starring in August, Osage County, Julia Roberts was given a nomination. Roberts, who has starred in many popular films, has already taken home an Academy Award with her role in the 2000 film Erin Brockovich. We'll see if the Academy thinks she deserves another with her role in the 2013 hit. One of Hollywood's favorite stars, Jennifer Lawrence, has been nominated for her role in American Hustle. Lawrence, having incredible success over the span of her career, already has won Academy Award for her work with Bradley Cooper in Silver Linings Playbook, and has won 2 Golden Globes, including one from American Hustle. Acting in several different types of films with success, Jennifer Lawrence appears to be nowhere close from finished. With her performance in the 2013 film Nebraska, June Squibb receives her first Academy Award nomination. Squibb's career has included work with several television shows, including Law & Order, ER, Castle. Her nomination this year brings new significance to her career, and we'll hopefully see more of her acting on screen in the near future. Finally, starring in the film 12 Years a Slave, Lupita Nyong'o has a chance at getting the award. This Kenyan director and actress made her first appearance in an American film with her role as Patsy in the inspiring film. As a Golden Globe nominee for last year's ceremony, it's no doubt that Nyong'o has a true ability to bring a story to life. It's great to see some new faces at the Oscars, and it's nice to see some more well-known names returning. With so many great actors and actresses, it's hard to tell who might win the awards, but I'm sure the ceremony will be a great experience for them all, regardless of who wins. My predictions are that Jennifer Lawrence will take home the award for the Best Supporting Actress, and I would love to see Barkat Abdi win for Best Supporting Actor, as Captain Phillips became an instant favorite of mine upon seeing it. It's going to be a good ceremony this year, so remember to tune in and see the winners announced on Sunday, March 2nd.
It's going to be close, like always, I'm sure. I know I'll be tuning in on the big day.
And we hope you'll still be tuned into The Real Deal right after this break. We've still got even more Oscar talk from both Ben Cramer and Caleb Meilink-Smith, so don't go anywhere.
Welcome back. As easy as it is to get caught up on who might win out of those nominated, it can be even easier to lose track of notable Hollywood talent that didn't get nominated.
Like we've mentioned before, the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences can't nominate everyone, obviously, but that's not to say that some very worthy talent once again got the short end of the stick. On that subject, here's the Rant with Ben Cramer. Ben?
So I'm not one to usually rant about anything important, but when it's movie awards season, my tolerance for such injustices like Oscar snubs can't be left silent. That's why my very first rant on The Real Deal will be on this year's Oscar snubs. Now, to those who don't know, every year the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences tends to leave out a certain actor, actress, or filmmaker who is well deserving of a nomination. Just like last year, Ben Affleck was not even nominated for Best Director, despite his film Argo winning Best Picture. This year, the Academy chose to leave out a couple of films I thought were definitely worthy of being nominated. The first one is Saving Mr. Banks, the true story of Walt Disney's working relationship with the author of the Mary Poppins children's book, P.L. Travers. A lot of people believe the movie shined a bad light on 1960s Hollywood. But since Walt Disney Studios released the movie themselves, perhaps it wasn't worthy of the recognition because it made Walt Disney look like such a lovable icon. With that being said, I completely and utterly feel like Emma Thompson should have been nominated for her performance of P.L. Travers. The pool of actresses that were considered for Best Actress this year was nowhere near as competitive as Best Actor, and Emma Thompson gave it her all as the no-nonsense woman who vehemently disapproved of her beloved creation going up on the big screen. The other snub that I was surprised by was the Coen brothers movie Inside Llewyn Davis. Although I haven't seen it, I'm gonna already say that this movie should have been nominated for Best Picture. Yep, the Academy could have picked up to 10 films, but once again there were only 9. I know there's no point in the movie being nominated if there's not a heavy favorite, but if that's the case, then why are there other less popular movies in the race? From what I've seen in the trailer and heard in interviews, Oscar Isaac gives a breakout performance as the title character, a folk-singing man who struggles through early 1960s New York, trying to make a name for himself. The Coen brothers are highly praised filmmakers who have won Oscars for Fargo and several more for No Country for Old Men, including Best Picture. I know they can't be nominated for every movie that they make, but come on, this movie screams underdog. Okay, I'm done, for now. I'm Ben Cramer, and this has been The Rant.
Thank you, Ben. I just want to state that for the record, I too am personally devastated that Saving Mr. Banks received no noms.
Yeah, but sometimes the Academy does have a good reason for not nominating someone, or in this upcoming case, actually rescinding a nomination. With that and more surrounding the Best Original Song category, we have a report from Caleb Meilink-Smith. Caleb?
Thank you. This is Caleb Meilink-Smith and your Music Minute. The world of music never stops, but the Oscars have proven that it does slow down to think things through. Recently, a song from the movie Alone Yet Not Alone, directed by George D. Escobar and Ray Bengtson, has had a nomination for Best Original Song rejected. The reason? The composer of the song in question contacted some of the voters during the voting period with improper emails. He commented, "I didn't ask for anyone to vote for it, I just didn't want the song to be bypassed." This is true. His email only told the voters to take specific notice of the song, and he also stated in the email, "I'm only sending this note because it is extremely unlikely that this small, independent, faith-based film will be seen by a music branch member. It's the only way I can think of to have anyone be aware of the song." One of the expected reasons for this surprising action is that he used his position as Motion Picture Academy's head and one of its former governors to gain attention for his own song. Personally, I think his biggest mistake was sending these emails during the voting. Feel free to draw your own conclusions, though. Those saying that liberal Hollywood has taken a strike at religion have already shown up, and though I don't agree, I will admit that it's sad that a low-budget movie won't have the chance of having a positive attention booster, and will instead have to settle for all this negative news it's getting now. Other nominees for Best Original Song category are the mellow Moon song from Her, a film I plan on seeing as soon as possible, Pharrell's feel-good song Happy from Despicable Me 2. Happy is a great song, but I think it's a bit too repetitive to take the win. Pharrell had previously had a song in the original Despicable Me and with the song Fun, Fun, Fun. As far as Oscars this year, though, there's also U2's Ordinary Love from Mandela, Long Walk to Freedom, and my personal favorite for the win, Let It Go from Disney's Frozen. Idina Menzel performed the song, and her voice is incredibly powerful. The song itself really gets in your head and is wonderfully put together. Lastly, in your Music Minute, we have Bruno Mars' performance in the halftime of the Super Bowl. I think Bruno really lived up to expectations. His start on the drum was unexpected, but pretty cool. And the introduction of the Red Hot Chili Peppers was nice and smooth. The gold suits were awesome, and the dance moves were fluid. And I really liked the band feeling from his backup dancers. I'm Caleb Smith. Thanks for listening. This has been your Music Minute.
Thank you, Caleb. Wow, that really was a minute.
No, it wasn't.
No? I think my watch is broken.
Well, we've got one more break, but we do hope you'll be back in just a minute for the final word from Connor and I. You won't want to miss it.
The female, especially one who lives off of blood and magic, is going to have her mood swings.
Everyone saw that I tried to take the high road.
Sort of.
This is a directive signed by Hitler. It says if he dies or if Germany falls, they're to destroy everything.
In your mind.
What?
I don't think he's ever had an original thought.
That's not true. Introducing the double-decker couch. So everyone could watch TV together and be buddies.
That is literally the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Let me handle this. That idea is just the worst.
Welcome back. With all this talk about the great movies that Hollywood and the film industry can create, the hype can often overshadow the fact that sometimes the industry makes really horrible films too.
We're not saying that Hollywood needs to be perfect. It's just annoying when they keep making the stupid same moves over and over.
So with that, Kaylee and I want to discuss some worrisome trends we've noticed in motion pictures. This is our final word.
One trend that really irks me is movie remakes. Hollywood has been remaking movies for decades. The reason isn't as surprising as you might think. Money. That's the driving force. In this economy, people aren't as willing to pay $9 at the movie theater anymore. So why would movie executives risk the possibility of losing money on something original that might not be a hit when you can go the safe route? It's a smart idea. If people are fans of the original movie, out of curiosity and nostalgia, they will probably pay to see the remake. Even if they're purists and they complain about how a remake will ruin gold that should be left untouched, they will most likely see the movie anyway. Movie executives don't care if you complain or hate it. As long as you're making the money, they're happy. What bothers me most about remakes is that there are so many of them. It's disappointing that directors and producers care more about making money than creating an original work of art. Have our brains turned into mush already that we can't think of new ideas? For example, the movie Endless Love, starring Alex Pettyfer and Gabriella Wilde, will hit theaters on Valentine's Day. Just going off the trailer, this movie looks like a terrible version of The Notebook. What you may not know, however, is that this same movie was originally made in 1981, and it starred Tom Cruise and Brooke Shields. I just don't understand why a remake of this needed to be made. All I want in a movie is a refreshing new plot that isn't a remake or adapted from a novel. Unfortunately, as long as the studios are more concerned about making money, the remake trend will live on for a long time.
You know, I can completely sympathize with you, Kaylee. In fact, that might actually explain some of the rationale behind the studio move that annoys me the most.
Oh, what's that?
Well, I like animated movies, for the most part, especially when studios like Pixar and DreamWorks continue to advance the art of computer animation, creating ever more realistic characters, textures, and entire worlds. Even though 3D animation has fairly solidly eclipsed traditional 2D animation in the last decade, there's nothing inherently wrong with it, as films like The Despicable Me's and Frozen prove. No, but the thing that irks me, and which doesn't show any signs of stopping, is when Hollywood takes beloved characters introduced to the world in 2D animation and tries to reimagine them as rounded 3D characters. This keeps happening to Dr. Seuss stories too, but the upcoming offender is going to be DreamWorks' Mr. Peabody and Sherman, the feature film based on segments from the Rocky and Bullwinkle show from the 1960s. Now, I'm not knocking the story at all, but why not just make a 2D animated movie? Then you don't need to go about redesigning the characters to fit into 3D space. And if the claim is that 2D animation just isn't dynamic like 3D, then you really need to go back and look at some of the industry's 2D classics, like Yellow Submarine, Spirited Away, or The Beauty and the Beast. But speaking of Rocky and Bullwinkle, I really just don't understand the trend that has 3D animated characters, most of whom started out as 2D classics, invade the real world. 2000's The Adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle, which saw animated moose and squirrel interacting with live humans, was a critical and commercial flop. But it seemed to be only the beginning in films that include Alvin and the Chipmunks, Underdog, Garfield, Yogi Bear, and most recently, The Smurfs. Critics generally agreed that most of those films were, well, really bad. The concept just doesn't seem to hold water, and many of them weren't that well scripted. So if I could reverse any Hollywood trend, I'd advise them to keep making characters whose roundness depends more on their writing than their animation.
And that wraps up our show for the week. Be sure to check out our Facebook and Twitter pages for updates on all things entertainment. I'm Kaylee Russell.
And I'm Connor Fack. We'll see you next week.